Coming up on The Shield, the Valparaiso University community received word that a fraternal organization is no longer a part of campus. It's an exclusive you will see first here on VUTV.
And Chi Omega hosted the Swishes for Wishes basketball tournament at the Arc this past weekend.
Broadcasting from Schnabel Hall on the beautiful campus of Valparaiso University, you're watching The Shield on VUTV.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Ricky Cody.
And I'm Erica Koger. Have you ever wanted to learn new programs? If so, Valparaiso University's Career Center held a lynda.com workshop for students to learn and understand what the website has to offer.
lynda.com is an online learning company that helps anyone learn not just software, but creative and business skills to achieve not only personal but professional goals as well. Members receive unlimited access to a vast library of high-quality, current, and engaging video tutorials taught by great teachers who happen to be working professionals as well.
Lynda is a tool that Valpo students can use at no cost. They can choose from a variety of programs including Microsoft Office, Adobe programs, and more. Courses are also offered that instruct users on how to lead productive meetings, work with conflict management, as well as how to use different products, such as iPads and iPhones. You can also learn digital photography or how to use social media outlets like Facebook and LinkedIn. VUTV was able to talk with representatives from lynda.com about how their website is beneficial to students.
I think Lynda applies to every person on this campus, no matter what their major is. Technology is so pervasive in our society that really you can't do anything without the help of technology. So doing what you can to learn how to use that technology as effectively as possible is really, really a great skill, something that everybody should be doing.
Make sure to check out your free subscription to lynda.com to take advantage of their free tutorials.
Chi Omega hosted the Swishes for Wishes basketball tournament at the Arc over this past weekend. The event raised proceeds to send a local 8-year-old boy to Disney World. VUTV News correspondent Amy Vanderhayden was there and has more on the story.
Last Thursday, Chi Omega hosted their annual Swishes for Wishes 3-on-3 basketball tournament at the Arc. This fundraiser was for Matthew, an 8-year-old Chesterton boy whose wish is to go to Disney on a cruise. Chi Omega sponsored Matthew, an 8-year-old boy from Chesterton, Indiana. He was diagnosed with a cerebrovascular disorder in his brain. Matthew's wish was to go on a Disney fantasy cruise. Working alongside the Make-A-Wish Foundation, Chi Omega held Swishes for Wishes.
Today we're having our Swishes for Wishes. It's an annual tournament, 3-on-3 for our Make-A-Wish Foundation as our philanthropy for Chi Omega. But it's kind of been a national philanthropy event. A lot of Chi Omegas across the country do a Swishes for Wishes event. So it's that, and not only that, we really enjoy being athletic and having those kinds of events, and we feel like it brings in a lot more people.
In total, 22 teams showed up for the tournament, including 18 boys teams and 4 girls teams. Each team was made up of 3 players. To raise money, each team paid a $20 entrance fee to participate. I asked one of the participants about why he came out for the event.
I'm on SIG Up 2. I mean, I am part of Sigma Phi Epsilon. I like to show that pride, playing with my brothers and everything, so yeah.
After an entire day of games, the team 902 Chicago won the men's bracket, winning for them tickets to a White Sox game and a tour of the stadium. And for the women's bracket, Last Minute took home first place.
I love basketball. I love helping out people, so like I said, the two coming together, it's just a great experience.
Before the first game tipped off, Chi Omega had raised $1,250 for Matt, and throughout the day, they came to a grand total of $2,000. Chi Omega is still fundraising for Matt to send him on his trip. Overall, with the successes of this event, it made Swishes for Wishes a slam dunk. For The Shield here on VUTV, I'm Amy Vanderhayden.
For a quick check of your Valpo weather forecast, Storm Shield meteorologist Rachel Dunsing is in the Storm Shield Weather Center. Hello, Rachel.
Well, thank you very much, guys. We have definitely been feeling a lot more like spring. We've had some warmer temperatures in the 60s, but unfortunately we do have a strong cold front that's going to be coming through even later tonight, bringing in the possibility of some even more rain. Stay tuned. I'll be telling you all about it coming up in my full forecast.
Thanks, Rachel. As a recognized media organization on campus, here at VUTV, we do our absolute best to cover the news that impacts the university and our student body in a completely transparent and unbiased light. As a news organization, we gather all sides of the story and tell the story of Valpo students, and this past week holds no exception. Earlier last week, Valparaiso University, as well as Valpo's Greek Life, said goodbye to the Beta Lambda chapter of Sigma Tau Gamma. I sat down with two members of the organization, as well as a key Valpo staff member who was behind this investigation. There have been some pretty strong reports about what exactly happened. At this point, the entire student body doesn't really know. The Greek community received email regarding the incident that took place, and obviously we're talking about your chapter being the charter being revoked. Do you guys personally, and John, let me start with you, find that you as a brotherhood are responsible for what had happened?
For being removed from campus? No. I think that we have done nothing wrong, and if it was hazing allegations, technically the university makes you haze.
Right.
Like the Valparaiso University hazes. If you have to run for gym class, whoa, that's physical discomfort. And we don't even do that.
Right.
So like, I just lost my house, and like it's really aggravating, and I don't have a place to live right now, and for no reason.
Is this the idea that he's talking about? Is that a mutual agreement? I assume that a feeling rather that's going in the house.
Yeah, that's exactly how everyone else feels in the house.
Are you specifically mad at one person in particular?
No, not in Greek. I'm angry that people would make allegations, and if
you're talking like the people who made the allegations as well as continued, correct?
See, I don't really know what happened. That's what I'm most angry about, is that I don't know what happened. I just basically woke up one morning and was told that, like, I'm losing my house. I have school to do, you know, I consider myself a good student, and it's not, I don't really bother anyone, you know, I do my schoolwork, and like it's just kind of a huge pain to be told I'm supposed to move out of my house.
Earlier this week, there was an email that was sent out from Carrie Whittier, who is the Dean of Greek Life here on campus and the Assistant Dean of Students. And I just want to read a portion of this email, and Cody, I want you to respond to this from your perspective, and then we'll kind of talk about this just for a minute. Sigma Tau Gamma has had a long tradition at the university of active service to the campus and community, with many alumni comprising the university's most successful graduates. Reading that, and again, this went out to all of Valpo's Greek Life, there's no question you guys have had some notable alumni, just as any organization or even anybody from Valpo would. Have you had any conversations with alumni who have either graduated 10, 15 years from now, or even graduated last year, and how are they feeling about this?
Since finding out the news of our charter being revoked, I haven't spoken with any of the alumni, but I know the majority of the brothers have been in contact with them, filling them in on information, and they are like manning their guns and trying to do everything they can to get a hold of the situation and get a hold of keeping the active or the brothers in the house instead of moving them to dorms. So they're just trying to control everything right now.
Right. Have you had any conversation with any alumni? I know being a part of the executive board, you may have. Have you had any conversation with past alumni at this point?
Yes, I have. And there's a wide variety of feelings among them.
I can imagine.
There's anger, sadness, a little disappointment. We were told not to tell anyone about this. We kind of kept this under wraps, and some of them are disappointed that happened because they
was that within the organization, or was that said from?
This was asked by multiple parties.
Okay.
And our alumni were not entirely informed.
So when those words that hang above the house, what does that mean to you? I mean, will that be would that be a part of you, whether there's a house there or not?
There'll always be a house there. We own that land, and good luck getting me out of there. And I mean, like, how would you, like, you may have, like, stripped me of my letters, but I have friends. I can go to their house still. And I don't know, man. They know a lot about me. I know a lot about them. And you can't really get rid of that by, like, no piece of paper.
Right.
It's gonna, like,
no email.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Like,
for me, as someone who almost made it there, that almost making it was close enough. The only thing I didn't get out of it was the ability to wear letters or be part of the national fraternity. What that banner represents about the Brotherhood is exactly why I came to that fraternity. For the brothers. Exactly. I felt very close with each of them right away and noticed things in every single one of them that I noticed in myself. And I joined the house so I could interact with these guys more, and they can each boost me as we all boost each other. Yep. And that's what the Brotherhood is.
I also spoke with the Dean of Greek Life, Carolyn Whittier, who spoke from the university's perspective.
Sure. Well, it's anytime you lose a chapter, it's really sad and it's really hard, not only for the collegiate men involved, but for the other collegiate members on campus, and of course for the alumni men who have been actively involved in the university for many, many years. We don't take these decisions lightly. It's not easy for anybody involved, the university, the national fraternity, the local alumni housing corporation, the men involved. So we are working very hard to try to ensure that there's clear communication with those who are directly involved, and then ensuring that the campus community is also aware of the status of the chapter in order to be as supportive as we can be. So what the relationship is between the university and the national fraternity, and so the revocation of the student organization status is for a minimum of 5 years, and at that point the national fraternity could submit expansion requests to the university. Very similar to how Phi Delta Theta had been suspended and the charter was revoked, and then they applied for expansion and are back and healthy and moving forward in preparation for their chartering. Very similar opportunity for Sigma Tau Gamma. We will work in partnership with the Alumni Corporation and the national fraternity in between that time to provide an opportunity for the alums to come back together. So our hope, Sigma Tau Gamma has historically had a golf tournament on homecoming weekend. We hope they will continue to do that. We'll help them with that if need be. If they want to have an annual alumni meeting, then they would be open to host that here on campus in order to stay engaged and to stay in contact with what's happening at the university. And then if the national fraternity decides to submit expansion materials, which we fully expect that they will do, if and when that happens, then the expansion committee at the university would meet to give consideration to that.
As you could imagine, and as you saw, the raw emotion that these young men are feeling is real, and given the circumstances, unfortunate. Now, we will be playing the interviews with John and Cody, as well as my interview with Carrie on Channel 82, and you can watch it and its entirety on our YouTube page. Just search Valpo VUTV. We'll be right back after these commercials as well, and we'll have a look at your Valpo weather forecast, national news, and sports. Stay tuned. You're watching The Shield here on VUTV.
The Valparaiso University Meteorology program gives you the scientific knowledge of a big university while keeping the small college atmosphere. At Valpo, you have the opportunity to take meteorology courses every semester throughout your college experience. Our approachable faculty are among the best in their field, and the small student-to-professor ratio promotes individualized learning and a family environment. Valparaiso's extracurriculars encourage specialization in all aspects of weather, including research, operational, aviation, and broadcasting. Students receive hands-on experience forecasting, launching weather balloons, using our on-campus dual polarization Doppler radar, and even chasing storms. Our alumni serve in all areas of meteorology, from researchers at universities to forecasters at the National Weather Service to Good Morning America. Valpo Meteorology, your forecast calls for success.
Welcome back to The Shield. Beyonce and hubby Jay-Z could be in trouble with the government over a recent trip to Cuba. 2 Republican lawmakers are asking the Treasury Department to look into the couple's vacation there. They're suggesting the superstar singers might have violated U.S. travel restrictions after the Castro regime took power in 1959. The U.S. outlawed tourism there. Beyonce and Jay-Z were photographed in Havana last week. They were apparently celebrating their 5th wedding anniversary on the communist island.
A veteran Philadelphia firefighter died battling this fire at a fabric store on the city's south side. Captain Michael Goodwin fell from the 3rd-floor roof of the store onto the 2nd-story roof, engulfed in flames. Another firefighter suffered severe burns trying to save the 53-year-old. Goodwin was with the Philadelphia Fire Department for 29 years. Fire and police officials took his death pretty hard. A contingent of firefighters and officers lined up outside a Philly hospital late Saturday night to pay tribute as his body was removed. Goodwin leaves behind a wife and 2 children.
This 1909 baseball card of Pittsburgh Pirate Honus Wagner just sold for more than $2 million at an auction house in New Jersey. The National Baseball Hall of Fame calls the card the Holy Grail. There are only about 50 of them in existence. The American Tobacco Company released them, but Wagner forced a recall of the cards. Golden Auction says the company didn't have the shortstop's permission, and Wagner didn't want kids to buy cigarettes. The cards were made as Wagner was on his way to winning his 7th batting title and about to lead the Pirates to their 1st World Series win.
An Ohio family survives a night lost in the alligator and mosquito-infested Everglades. Emergency officials in West Miami found the Schreck family this past weekend. Scott and Carrie Schreck and their 3 young sons lost their way from returning from an airboat fishing trip. The family took a wrong turn and ended up stranded in tree roots. When they didn't return Thursday afternoon, a friend called 911. The family survived by building a shelter over the boat. Dad Scott Schreck says he's an outdoorsman and not afraid to go back out if given the opportunity.
That was a crazy story, Erica. Former CIA Director David Petraeus talks to investigators again. USA Today reports FBI agents interviewed Petraeus. Now, this interview took place at his home in Arlington and is a part of an ongoing investigation into whether classified information was leaked. Petraeus resigned as the head of the CIA when his extramarital affair with his biographer became public. Authorities say the investigation into whether documents were leaked has been taking a considerable amount of time.
The Valpo area has experienced some warm temperatures this past weekend. What can we expect for the rest of this week? Storm Shield meteorologist Rachel Dunsing joins us in the studio. Hello, Rachel.
Hi, Erica. Hi, Ricky. And it's like you said, we have definitely been experiencing some warmer temperatures. It's been feeling a lot more like spring. Nice. Definitely a lot more like spring than we have been lately. You know, we came off of this really, really cold April and end of March. So it's really nice that we do have the opportunity to at least have some warmer temperatures in our forecast and actually go out and get the chance to experience them. However, the downside is, with it being spring and a bit of a transition season, there is the possibility that when you get warmer temperatures, you can possibly see some storms as well. And that was definitely the chance today as well. If you were outside, you did notice that it was pretty rainy today, and you probably heard a little bit of probably heard some thunder and saw some claps of lightning as well. So it has been a pretty stormy day, but unfortunately those temperatures will begin to drop. Once again, we have a very strong front that looks like it's actually going to be moving through late tonight. And so we have the possibility of some chilly temperatures returning once again for this weekend. So don't put away your winter coats just yet. You may need to bring them out for one last weekend. But our GFS forecast model for temperatures is actually showing this cold front that I'm talking about. You see St. Louis by tonight is actually going to be at 67 degrees, and they've been experiencing some storms today as well. And then here in Valparaiso, 52 degrees, so we're still relatively warm, sitting in the 50s. But as we cycle this through into early tomorrow morning, you can definitely see this cold front here. St. Louis at 45 degrees, while here in Valparaiso, 56 degrees. That's actually going to be our high temperature for tomorrow, and it's going to happen very, very early once again because of that cold front. As we let it cycle through, once again, you're going to see these cold temperatures just don't want to give up quite yet, and they just move right into the Valpo area. And by the time we hit early Friday afternoon, 36 degrees here in Valpo. I do think we could warm up a little bit more than that for that high temperature, but we are going to be a little bit on the chilly side once again compared to the 60s that we've been experiencing the past couple of days. So definitely, like I said before, don't put away those winter coats just yet. Even Davenport at 31 degrees, Minneapolis 24, and Sioux Falls at 23 degrees. So it is going to be a very chilly next couple of days. But for tonight though, 43 degrees for that low temperature because we have some clouds hanging around. It does look like some of that heat is going to be trapped in, but we could experience a little bit more storm activity once again with the winds coming out of the east at 10 miles per hour. But we could see those winds starting to shift to the south with a little bit of a southwesterly component there as well. And that's going to warm us up once again. 56, as I mentioned before, actually going to happen pretty early in the morning. Possibility of some more storms, but as that front pushes through, the rain will actually be pushing out as well, and we'll actually see some of those southerly winds change a little bit more to the north, and that is when we're going to start seeing our cool down as well. And then here is your 5-day forecast, Valpo. As I mentioned before, Thursday we are going to be around 56 degrees, but then with that cold front passing through, without talking about the north winds, going to drop down to 32 degrees. Yes, we are going to reach the freezing point once again. Friday warming back up just a little bit to 43 degrees, and then cooling right back down once again, 31. Pretty much a chance of rain throughout the rest of the weekend. Saturday, 48 degrees. Sunday, warming up just a little bit, 56 degrees. Then Monday, a little bit warmer with 66 degrees. So we're going to start feeling a little bit more like spring once again, but we're going to have a little bit of a winter tease in there, I guess. We just can't get rid of the rain and some of the chilly temperatures just quite yet.
Are you sure you can't give us like 4 more degrees on Monday? Just to push us at 70?
Not quite yet. We'll see when some of the more mild runs come in. But as of right now, it's looking like it's going to be in the 60s. But we will just have to see.
At this point, we just take what we can get, right?
Exactly.
Awesome, Rachel. Thank you so much. Stay tuned. Your Crusader Sports is next. That's all coming up right after the break.
The Valparaiso University Meteorology program gives you the scientific knowledge of a big university while keeping the small college atmosphere. At Valpo, you have the opportunity to take meteorology courses every semester throughout your college experience. Our approachable faculty are among the best in their field, and the small student-to-professor ratio promotes individualized learning and a family environment. Valparaiso's extracurriculars encourage specialization in all aspects of weather, including research, operational, aviation, and broadcasting. Students receive hands-on experience forecasting, launching weather balloons, using our on-campus dual polarization Doppler radar, and even chasing storms. Our alumni serve in all areas of meteorology, from researchers at universities to forecasters at the National Weather Service to Good Morning America. Valpo Meteorology, your forecast calls for success.
Welcome back to the Shield. With a look at all of your Crusader sports, we turn it over now to Shield Sports Director Drew Taylor. Drew?
Thanks, guys. The baseball team continues to be victims of a harsh spring. Tuesday's game against Northwestern was canceled. Wednesday, Valpo was slated to host Goshen, but that game has been postponed. The Crusaders will be on the road this weekend, beginning a 3-game set against the Youngstown State Penguins Friday, 2 p.m. first pitch. Valpo currently is sitting in 5th place in the Horizon League with a record of 2-8. Bowling Green was in town Tuesday for a doubleheader at the VU softball field. Roll the Game 1 highlights, please. Freshman hurler Sierra Pico breezed through the first 2 innings but found trouble in the 3rd. Runners on 1st and 2nd when Katie Yoho steps to the plate. She launches one deep to left, and you can forget it. Give her 3 RBIs and a 3-0 Falcon lead. Bowling Green would tack on a few more, and Valpo unable to overcome the deficit. Final score from the VU softball field, 6-3 Falcons. The second game proved to be troublesome as well. Valpo was only able to muster 4 hits as Bowling Green cruised to a 5-0 victory, and the Falcons sweep the doubleheader. The Brown and Gold will look to snap their 5-game losing streak this weekend as they host the UIC Flames. Doubleheader on Saturday begins at 1 p.m. And finally, there are plenty of other athletics going on this weekend. Golf, track, and tennis will all be in action. So we'll leave you with the schedule for Saturday and Sunday, including the aforementioned baseball and softball games. For more information on these contests, as well as to stay current on everything Crusader sports, log on to valpoathletics.com. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Drew. And now with our last check of weather, Storm Shield meteorologist Rachel Dunsing joins us in the studio.
Hi once again, guys, and like I've been talking about, we've had some warm temperatures. We've kind of gotten used to them, spring, wearing shorts, maybe not having to take a heavy jacket.
It's nice. You see kids just walking around in their shorts and t-shirts.
Really was.
It felt good. It felt like spring.
Oh, it was. Unfortunately, by the time we get early tomorrow morning, it does look like there's a chance for a little bit of a cool down, some more rain coming in, but by the time we hit Saturday and Sunday, very slight warm up with some cloudy conditions, but we could also see a few more showers coming in on Sunday. The good news is Monday looks a little bit more like spring, getting up into the mid-60s. So.
Starting to look like it. I mean, it certainly feels like it. Bring on those 60s. We are ready.
Right, and April showers bring May flowers, so I guess this is just part of April.
And I don't mind it when it rains as long as it's warm out. So.
Right, exactly. So.
Feels good. Thank you so much, Rachel. And that is going to do it for this edition of The Shield. I'm Ricky Cody.
And to get on-demand VUTV programming, log on to youtube.com/ValpoVUTV. For everyone here at VUTV, I'm Erica Koger. Thanks for watching.